Hi, in this video I'm gonna show you how we can upload images using two popular frameworks, Django on a backend and React on a frontend. So first we'll start with our backend. So backend will be based on the Django with a RESTful API. So it will serve as an API, and then we'll use our frontend to select the image and upload it to our backend. And backend will take care of the image, save it in the server, and it will be available for current model. So what I have here is I have a simple Django application. So nothing complicated here. If you are not really sure how to set up an application like this, if you go to Django test framework tutorials/kickstart, or just go to the main page here and then tutorial quick start, you will see a set of instructions how to set up a simple application. I also have a few videos on my YouTube channel, so if you are not sure how to do that, you can watch them as well. I have a React and Django full course on Udemy. At the moment it's 16 hours, but I will add more content into it. So if you are interested in learning more about React and Django, I will leave a link in the description. Okay, let's go back to our application. So what we have here, at the moment I have a simple single model book. I have only one field, title, and this is a car field, so this will hold the title for me. I have one serializer for the same model, so we have only title here, and also I have a view which is a view set, so we have query set and the serializer that we just created here. Also in the admin I register my book, so we can go to admin page and we have a books. At the moment there is nothing in our database, so we will start from scratch. In the URLs I included a router that I register my books, and that will be included here. So I can actually use /books to access all the URLs for that book. So I can use that URL to upload my books. So that's what I have. If we go to the settings, I also use the REST framework. So if you want to start the same as I have here, you will need to install Django and Django REST framework. Also, I register my application. My application is API here. This is my project, and this is my application. So we'll do everything from here. Okay, so what we need to do? Basically, we would like to store a cover for that book. So we will create another field here, and this field will be an image field. So let's do that. Cover, models, and then image field. And then we can provide a few arguments here. First, we can do blank, true. So that means we can actually, it's not going to be required, so we can leave it blank. Then we can do null, so true. Also, if it's provided blank, then we'll store it as null. Next argument, we'll do upload to. And this is interesting part here. So what we can do is we can provide a simple path here where to upload it, but I will show you more elegant way how to do it with a function. So what we can do is we can create our own function. So upload, let's say path. We can name it whatever we like, and then it will accept two things: instance and file name. So what we have here is we can actually return. So we can build our path here, and we'll start from /. That means it will be a default media path here, and then we can join. And in join, we can provide an array of things that we will have as a join for our folder structure. Basically, we are telling Django where to upload it, and it's up to us how we're gonna store it in our server. So in what folders and how we're gonna name them. And basically, we can use those two, actually file name like this. I misspell it. We can use those two to actually use it and leverage the data that is available on instance and file name to actually put it in the folder. So what we can do is I will show you three things, but it's up to you. How would you like to store it? Basically, you are building kind of folder structure here. So first, I will say covers, and you will see that folder structure when we actually see the first image in. So what I'm saying here if we'll upload our image, we would like to use the base media part that we'll set up in a second, and then we should use a folder covers. Inside that covers, we can do instance, let's say title. So instance title, we can actually force it to be string. So instance title, that will be another folder inside the cover. So if we upload book with some title, that will go here. So if you have more images for one book, for example, you might have a cover, back cover, and stuff like that, you can actually put it all images inside covers, inside that book name. And that's what we are gonna do. So we'll do that. And the last thing we can use is file name. Actually, you can, that's supposed to be name, like that. So basically, it's up to you how you would like to have it. So I will take upload path here, and we'll come back to this later once we'll see a working example. So we can provide that function here, and that cover will use that function to put it in the specific folders. Okay, we have that done, and there's not much complicated here. It's just a simple field that is available on Django. What we need to do in the settings, we need to also add media. So media root, all capital, OS, path, join, and then we do base dir, and then we can provide media, or you can name it whatever you like, and then media URL, and it will be media, like that. That's supposed to be media URL. So we need to provide two things here. First, media root. So what is the root folder of our media? And then media URL. So you can name it this as you like. I name it media, so it is easier to remember. And basically it will just create a new folder media here. So this will be our root folder for our media. So if we go here, that's what we are referring there. So it will be everything uploaded to our server. It will be media / cover / name of the book / file name, and the file name will be the name actually of the file that we uploaded. So I will show you how it works in a second. I have joined missing one required positional. I think it's fine now. We don't have that anymore. So what we can do is I can do Python manage by run server, and the server is running here. Okay, so we have that available now. What we also need to do is we need to put that in the serializer. So we add an extra field to serializer, cover, and then we'll need to do something in views. Okay, so in the views, we'll need to create a new method. So basically we have a view set here, and the basic methods are already included in the model view set. So post, put, delete, and get, all of them are included. But what we'll do is we'll actually overwrite one for creating a book, and we'll like to kind of hijack it and create our own. So we'll overwrite post, and then self, request, and then we'll have args and also quarks. So basically what we are doing here is we overwriting the built-in method that is built in Django. We'll create a variable cover here. So it will be request data, and then we will provide cover. Also, we'll have title and title. So this is what we are expecting from the front end that it will send. So next thing, what we will do is we'll do book, objects, create, and we'll create our book. So title, it's going to be our title that we've created, just variable, and then cover, it will be cover from here. So at the end, what we can do is we can return something. So we can do HTTP response. And we need to actually import it first. So I will do from Django HTTP import HTTP response. So that HTTP response can return two things. First, which will be our object. Let's say we can provide a message, and that message will be book created. So another argument, I can do status 200, which is everything is okay. Of course, you will need to do some validation here, check it if you have that in the request data and so on, and do try accept if you have if you created that model or not. But I will try to simplify everything to a bare minimum, so basically we are not do error handling here. Anyway, we created the book, and then we have a HTTP response for that. So book created, and we hope that both title and cover will be safe in one go. Okay, so we have that already available in the Django. So everything is kind of ready for us to jump into the front-end framework. Okay, so let's move to our front-end application now, and we'll go to Visual Studio Code here. And what I have here is I have a very basic application that I have created with npx create a React application. And I just remove in the app.js the template that comes with a create React app and replace it with just one heading here. So if we go to our front end here, we have just a heading here, so upload image with React, and we will build a kind of a form that will allow us to upload images here, along with some extra fields like title. Okay, let's do that now. So we go here, and first things what we need to do is we need to create a few fields that the user will be able to type in and will transfer that data to our Django application on a backend. So first I will create a label, and that's gonna be a title. And then we can have an input of type text, and we'll close it here. And then I can duplicate this, and I can have a cover, and that's going to be type file. We're separated by a break here, and I will have another one here, and then we can have a button here, and the button will create a new book like this. So we have a kind of a template done here. So we have a title, we have a file selection, and then we have a button here. So at the moment they don't do anything. So what we need to do is we need to prepare our component for that functionality in. So first what we need to do, this is functional component here. So what I would like to do is I would like to store both title and the cover in the state. So in the functional component we can use state, but we need to import the function first. So use state that React hooks. So we have use state, and then we'll create two variables. So first will be title, we'll store the title, and then we'll have another one, a method set title. So this will be the method to actually change our title, and then we can use our hook, which is use state. So what we have here is we have local variable and the method to change that variable, and we'll use state. This is functional component. So that's hooks and the newest addition to React. Okay, we have that. So what I can do is I can duplicate this, and I can have another one for cover, and then we will have method set cover. Okay, here we can put a default value of empty string, so the title will be here. What we can do is we can actually hook that value into our input. So I can do value And then inside I can say that's our title. And then what I can do is I can do on change. So whenever we change this, then I can trigger an arrow function, which is our event. So arrow function here, and then we'll set title, use that method here. And then what we want to pass is that event that is passed from here on when we change the value, event that target that value. So what we have here, I'll put it on a separate line and I can collapse this. So what we have here is we have an input that the default, well, the input will get the value from our state, which is the local variable here we have, title. And then whenever we change it, we'll have an event listener, and that event will transfer the new value and we'll set title with that event target value. So basically we will hold whatever it's on that input field, we'll store it in the title. So if I will save it now, I can come back here, and whenever I type in here, it's we don't have any errors, so that means it's good. So basically whatever is here, it is stored in our state. We have some problem with the cover, but we haven't done the cover yet. So let's go back here, and what we can do in the cover is we can do similar things. So we had on change here. So what I can do is I can use the same kind of on change here. We will have event, and instead of set title, what we do is we'll have set cover. So we'll set cover, but this one, it's not going to be event target value because this is the type file. So this could be a multi-file selector. So basically what we have in event target is we have a list of files. So if you select more than one, it will be all in files, but we don't want to enable the multi-part here. We'll have only one. So what I can do is it's still available in the files, but what I can do is I can access the first one. So first one from the list is 0 index, so even target files. So whatever we have set of files on this input, we'll grab the first one and we'll send it to set cover, which is our hook that is here. And then it will be available in our cover. At the moment we don't use it in the cover here. So what we need to do is we need to have another one on click here. So we'll create another method. And then we can do new book. We also need to trigger an arrow function here. And then so arrow function, it will create a new book, and then we need to create that method here. So I will create a constant new book, and I will create an arrow function here. And that's going to be our method. So we don't have any errors here. And what we can do is we can console log. Let's console log title for now and see if that works. Okay, so we are here. I will type in something here. I will click new book, and we have that available. So the title is available, and the cover will be available in the second. So what we need to do now is we need to send that data into our application, and we have numerous options how we can do that, but I will show you the one that doesn't require any third-party library or any plugins, and we'll use the built-in method that is fetch. So we can do fetch here, and then we can actually fetch our response. So what we need to do is when we go here, that's our URL. So I will copy that, and then what we can do is that's our URL, and we'll send it to books and the slash at the end. So that's our URL to fetch, and we'll use a method post. So I will put a comma and then an object. In that object I can do method, and that method is gonna be post. Also what I can do is I can attach a body, and then we'll attach something here. So let's create a constant upload data is equal to new form data. So we'll have a form data here, and what we can do is we can grab these values from here and attach it to that uploaded data. Now also that upload data here, it will be our body. Okay, so what we need to do is we'll take upload data, append, and we can append some values here. So what we want to append, basically, if we come back to our PyCharm, this is what we actually expecting to have. We expect to have cover and we expect to have title. So basically that's what we need to attach into our front end. So first things, it will be title, and the second one is value. So what is the value? We have the value here on our hooks. So I will have it like this, and that's the first data we can append. The second one will be cover, and then it's going to be our cover. Here we can also include cover that name, so it will include the file name with the file. Okay, so we have upload data, which is a form data. Then we append title and the cover from our hooks, and then we can remove this one now, and then we'll try to fetch. So we have our URL books, then we'll do post with that data attached. Okay, so what we need to do here is we need to do then. So then means whenever we have done that, and we can expect some result. So response console log. We are not really interested in response here. What we want to do is we can actually prove that going to the server and see if the data has been uploaded. But it's up to you. What would you like to do with a response? So I can do catch, and then we can have error, and then just console log it. So whatever it's here, normally you should have some kind of error handling and so on. So basically this is promise. So whenever we have the fetch, we have a promise, and this will be returned when you will have a success, and this will return when you have an error. So basically normally you would convert this to JSON and then have another then, but we just want to have everything super simple. So we have a fetch, we have uploaded data from our form here, and we are expecting everything to work at this point, but it's not going to work yet. I will show you why it's not going to work. So first let's try to do something. So I will do like Lords of the Ring, and I will try to attach this file. I have a book cover Lords of the Ring, and I will try to attach it. So at the moment nothing is here. I will do a new book, and then we have a problem. So what is that about? So basically there is a hint here. It is cross-origin resource sharing error. So access control allow origin is actually preventing that for fetching this data. So what is happening here is we have one server, let's say it's a server on localhost 3000 that is requesting that data, and the other one is another local host. So this is two separate domains. So Django is blocking that request because this is not safe. Someone asked for that data, but we have no way to authorize that request. So by default this is blocked. What we can do is we can use a plugin, Django Course Headers, and that will help us set the headers for trusting sources. So first thing what we need to do is we need to install that in our Django. So I will go back to the Django, I will close the server here, and then I will do pip install Django course headers. That's been done. The next thing what we need to do, and you can see here, you can find the Django course headers on a GitHub. The next thing what we need to do is we need to add it to installed apps. So I go here, settings, and then I can paste that in here. So we have that. The third thing what we need to do is we need to include that in the middleware in the settings as well. So I go here, middleware. I need to do it above the common middleware, so I'll place it here. and we have that. The last thing what we need to do is we have two choices. We'll allow for all, which is not really safe, or we can whitelist it. So what I can do is I can whitelist our application, so I can place it anywhere in the settings, it doesn't really matter where, and I will leave this one here. So what we want to do is we want to whitelist it. That means we'll allow this host to access our resources, and when you go to a React application, you can see it's a localhost 3000. So what we need to do is we need to allow localhost 3000 to access the resources. So now what we can do is we can run the server again and go back to our application, and we have already that data here. So what I can do is I can do new book, and you can see here we don't have that error anymore, and we have some response here. So I can click here and we have internal server error. So this one is a different one. So let me take a look what's happening here. We have 500. So table API book has no column name cover. Okay, so that was my mistake. What I did is I add an extra cover here, but I haven't really applied that to the database yet. So what I can do is I can close my server, and I need to make migrations like that. So new field will be migrations has been created for a new field, and then I can migrate, which is adding that to the database schema. Okay, that's done. I can run the server again, and let's come back here. I will open this here, and we can come back here, and then I will try it again. I will clean it, try it again, and this time is status 201. That means everything went through and it's supposed to be in our database. So let's come back here. I will go books, and in fact I have one book here, so I can take a look at that, and I have Lords of the Ring. This is what I have created. So if we go back here in the PyCharm, you can see I have folder Modia. That's supposed to be media. I made a mistake. So if we go to settings and scroll down, oh, you can see here Modia. My intention was to put it as a media. It doesn't really matter. So I have that folder here. If I open that folder, I have covers. So if we go back to the views, if you go back to the models here, you can see the folder structure will be as we set it up. So we have root folder for the media from the settings, which is this one. Then we have covers, which is this one. And then we have name of the movie. Name of the book. So this name of the book comes from a title. So we name it instance title. So this is the folder. And inside we have file name, and in fact we have a few of them here. I think it is because it was blocked for the twice. So the file itself, it was uploaded, but the request was rejected. So the file has been saved a few times. Basically that was the original file, but the next time we try to upload it, Django just add a random string into this, so it saved it like this. I think the third one was the one that actually passed. Anyway, what we have here is we have this JPEG uploaded to our server, so along with our name, because with our title, because we can see the title here. So basically we have successfully connected our Django and React, and we were able to grab the image from the user interface here and pass it to our backend server. Okay, that's working fine. There is one thing I would like to show you. So what we can actually do is we can click on the covers here, and that's the URL for that cover. So basically that cover is on our Django server, media, covers, lot, and then that file name, JPEG. But the page is not found. So why this is happening? So this is happening because we need to enable static files for Django. Normally Django is not designed to hold the static files for us. So what we need to do is we need to go to the URL and we need to enable that. First we need to import from Django conf URLs static import static, and then we also need to do from Django conf import settings. We need to have those two things imported, and then what we can do is onto our URLs here we can add statics. So I will do URLs patterns plus equal and then static, and then we can add static methods to this, and we can say here settings media URL and then document root is equal to settings media root. So this is what we have set up on the settings. So we have media URL and media root in our settings. If you go here, you have it here. So basically we just to our URLs the path we have here, we also add the static path with a media URL and media root. Okay, once I have that, if I come back here and I will refresh it, I have some problems here, and you have got an unexpected keyword argument document rook, and I mistype it. If you go to URL, you have document rook, so this is supposed to be document root, like this. So I will save it again and then refresh it, and that's supposed to be document, not document. So I've done a lot of mistakes here, sorry about that. Document root, probably you saw that before, and we have the cover here. So what we have now is we have fully functional Django backend that will handle images, and we have React application that will be able to get the file from the user and send it along with some other data to our models and store it in our server. So this is all now functional, and as you can see here, you have a full control where you would like to put it, how would you like to store it, and how would you like to handle all of the images. It doesn't have to be images, we just pick the image field here. So image field is basically the same thing as the field, but it will also accept the width and height for the image. But if you would like to have other fields, other files accepted, you could have the file field and use the same URL path. So that's it. I hope this tutorial was very helpful for you. I know a lot of people ask for that, and usually when you see a tutorial it is only one part, so it is either backend or the frontend. So what I try to do is I will try to show you the full path, and that's a working example of this. If you like it, please do subscribe to my channel because I will have more videos like this in the future. Also, I will appreciate if you click a like if you enjoyed this video. Thank you.